with a 600 horsepower radial engine. Take a look from the right as Bill now takes off. And let's listen to the sound of the propeller tips going supersonic at about 2,500 RPM. Bill right on the deck and accelerating now for 130 miles per hour.
As far as taking pictures.
Up he goes now. Rolling the airplane into a 4-point hesitation roll on takeoff. This airplane, believe it or not, weighs 5,500 pounds. 1,000 performances in this Texan. Flying the barrel roller, rolling around an imaginary point into the sky, endeavoring to start and stop at the same altitude and airspeed using coordination. Just last June, and his 60th birthday, got to attend his birthday party up at his home in Dayton, Ohio, and watch him he does this beautiful, super slow roll across the line. Bill, 15 years of age, and since that time, he has flown over 200 types of aircraft. Straightened out on that. Just about 7 years since the Texan's been around. And depending on whose book you read, and the history books are not all in agreement on this, upwards of 22,000 Texans and their variants have been manufactured. They were not only by the United States Army Air Force, known as the T-6, but also as the SMJ force prior to America's entry into World War II. Neutrality laws made it illegal to fly a warplane across the border from a neutral country to a combatant country because Canada, as part of the United Kingdom, was at war with Germany. Started it all again and pulled onto their base. That's how they got around. We got a lot more planes up there for the Royal Canadian Air Force. 180 miles per hour, diving down, now climbing up. Watch him as he gets to the top. Over the top, tilts his head back, looks at the runway and goes through the beautiful roundhouse loop. How about a nice round of applause for Bill Leff? And last night's show, he flew his Starfighter. We need some more fighters. We need some more Warhawks. That your company, North American Aviation, builds these harbor trainers for us. Would you build Tomahawks first? P-40 Tomahawks or Warhawks under license, which means that North American Aviation would have had to retool and get all the information and production line information from Curtis and build somebody else's airplane. Well, Jeff Kindleberger said, we don't build somebody else's airplane. Give us 120 days. 5,500 pounds of weight. And he's slowing it down, pointing it into the wind, going slower and slower every second, pulling that nose up for the Texan High Alpha Pass. Working the power like a crazy guy, that's great stuff. An incredible pilot. He's been flying corporate aircraft as well for 30-some years. West Winds, Learjets. Bill Leff's airplane on YouTube. Our air boss, Jim Tuturo, knew I was going there when I said you may have seen. Because just last July, was it just last July? Yeah, last summer, Bill was going from the Peoria, Illinois Airshow up to the big aviation celebration at Oshkosh, Wisconsin for the EAA, Experimental Aircraft Association fly-in. His son was in the back seat. And while they were right near Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, the engine seized up and quit with the propeller straight up and straight down. Stopped dead. 2 minutes later, he was down over the top of Lake Winnebago and had to put it in the water. But Bill Leff, in this very airplane decided he was going to put it down on a highway. He was doing fine until he saw 2 police cars under it. So Bill Leff, running out of options, running out of airspeed, running out of altitude, bounced his airplane in between the 2 cop cars, got enough altitude to go over the second police car, and landed on the highway, and it's all on the dashboard cam. But he screwed up. The wing replaced. T-6s around. Those propeller tips making that supersonic sound. This Texan makes it possible in the air, but the landing gear is pretty close. The main gears are really close together. So it's a little bit touchy on landing, just like the Stearman is. But Bill puts it down on a wheel landing and drops the tail wheel.